everybody, and welcome to another episode of First and Last. My name, as always, is Josh, and I am with Jimmy.
Hey, what's up?
And we have a very special guest, our friend Jeff.
Hey, guys, thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for being here.
Yeah, of course.
Before we go,
Jeff is trashed right now.
I literally was like, all right, they tell me to say a catchphrase to start off with. And I just had too many, and I just went, hey, happy to be here. So that's my new catchphr's, you guys, is just happy to be here.
you ran a couple off before we went, but you just
I
didn't.
know, I couldn't, the pressure got to me. Just, it was game over real quick.
Like a deer in front of a microphone. You froze.
It was one of the ones that came to my head was just, catchphrase! And then, like, that's just, and that's just it.
Yeah, glad you didn't use that one.
Yeah, and now it's still out there, so
Yep,
that's great.
Yep, I told you before we started. I don't
I
edit.
like the idea that deer are bad, like in a radio setting. Like they can't perform.
I mean, I'd put money down on the fact that if you put a deer in a radio station, it wouldn't do a very good job.
I don't know. Has it ever been tested?
Well,
Next guest.
has anyone talked?
Well, guys, go visit our GoFundMe for Deer in a Radio Station. Link in the description below.
Oh, new band name. I call it Deer in a Radio Station.
I'll let you have it. I'll let you have it. Well, today we are doing I would call a potentially classic sitcom, family sitcom.
Oh, for sure.
Step by step. Day by day.
I just realized one thing I usually do and I didn't remember to do is look up when this was aired. 1991 to August of 97.
I was gonna say it's.
And then it moved to CBS. It was on ABC as TGIF.
Ooh, it was a
Friday
show.
night lineup.
that
whole time, and then it moved to CBS.
So you watched.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So you watched them step by step, and then you switched over to like, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Right afterwards.
Yeah. Well, I've always watched it. But do you think this is like one of the first TV shows? I feel like now a lot of TV shows get dropped, and then like Netflix picks it up, or I think even American Idol's on something else now when it used to be on Fox. Oh. So do you think this is like one of the first ones? I mean, I feel like it's pretty rare in the 90s for another major like TV station to pick up a sitcom.
Yeah, I don't really recall.
We've watched a few that did that, but
yeah, maybe it's because I was a kid and I didn't really care or pay attention. But I just don't really recall shows in the 90s moving networks.
Yeah.
But I think maybe it was like I turned on Fox when it was supposed to be on and just wasn't on. I'd be like, I guess the show's over.
Really, I had no idea it was Fox. It was just on, yeah.
Channel 9's not showing Step by Step anymore. What's going on? Jimmy, before we move too far along, how does this show, First and Last, work?
Well, we pick a show that we haven't really seen or seen very little of, and then we watch the pilot, and then we talk about it, make some predictions on what we think is going to happen in the series finale, and they're always just right on, and we score all those points, and I was going somewhere, and then I couldn't finish that.
No, you did a great job.
Too many inappropriate things. Too many inappropriate things.
Before we started, me and Jeff were having a conversation about the one thing we definitely know about Step by Step, and that's there's a roller coaster in the intro.
Oh, yeah. When I think of Step by Step, which is every day, obviously, all I can think of, is the intro, and I know they're at some sort of amusement park, and that the theme song is Step by Step. So it's like super original. Because you were saying something like there's not many actually original theme songs anymore.
Yeah, well, you don't hear like lyrics in a theme song anymore. You don't hear like a story told. You know?
Oh, is this the guy that wrote the Cheers song? Is this the guy who wrote Step by Step?
Robin Thicke? I think.
Robin Thicke?
Wait, what's
Alan Thicke?
Alan Thicke.
You're talking about the Three's Company guy?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
The dad in the Growing Pains.
Yeah. Alan Thicke.
Yeah, I think he wrote a ton of these 90s.
He wrote the music?
Hey, don't we have like a huge database that we have?
Yeah, we got Jimmy.
Yeah.
Google it all that
look
stuff.
that
the
up.
dad of this show is named Patrick
No,
Duffy.
No.
I'm not talking about the dad of the show. That's not in
what
question.
are you talking about?
We're just
Oh, man.
We're just recording a podcast. You don't listen to us at all.
I was listening.
Gosh.
You said
No,
okay.
who wrote the theme song to Step by Step?
Okay, I'll check it out.
I'll start again. Hey, Jimmy, who wrote the theme song of Step by Step?
Yeah, give me a second.
Catchphrase.
Yeah, that's a perfect timing.
Yeah, right. I did it.
But no, I always felt like Step by Step was one of those that people knew of, but again, they'd turn into like growing pains. You know, like that's the one I remember watching more.
I think I might have seen random step-by-steps more. So, what do you like remember at all about this show, if anything?
Like one of the things I feel like it was like a modern day Brady Bunch, and that's like the one thing I remember. I think the mom and dad have like their own separate,
You might be right.
and so they come together, and then it's the kids that are like one's a nerd, and the same one at his age is like a popular girl or guy. I don't know which ones it is, but you know, it's kind of like that whole, you know, mix of characters, but it's like the mom and dad are in love, so it's all makes sense.
While you were explaining that, I was like, do I get step-by-step and who's the boss mixed up?
That's also on the list.
It's not Tony Danza. He's not the boss.
So
by
Yeah,
the way.
Tony Danza's not the dad in this as well.
also not
So
the dad.
we were now crossing the list off of who's the dad in this show.
The mom in this show runs like a she's like a stylist.
That I don't remember.
I'm pretty
So,
sure.
yeah.
And I'm just gonna go on a limb and say
right.
the dad works in construction.
okay, like is he like a foreman?
What? Yeah, sure. He's a regular Fred Andrews,
All right.
Riverdale reference.
So the theme song, the people who wrote the theme song, they also wrote the theme songs to Full House, Perfect Strangers,
You guys done that one?
which we did, and Family Matters, which we did.
You mean the Urkel
Family
show?
Matters, was Family Matters a TGIF as well?
I don't know.
No idea.
I'll look it up.
With Josh, it was one of those. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna tune in at 9. I don't remember what day it was.
Yeah.
It's when life was simpler, Jimmy, and I didn't care.
I don't need friends. I have TV.
Perfect Strangers was a TGIF.
Weird.
That
When was Friday the night for TV? I feel like
blows.
it's more like a Tuesday Thursday thing now.
Ni-
like,
1996.
yeah, okay, all right.
was
Good
when
point.
Friday was.
Was the Friday
Full
just
House
TV
was a
fest?
Everybody was a little more wholesome back then.
Family Matters was a TGIF.
Now it's all
Sabrina the
sucking
Teenage
blow up
Witch.
hookers' chests.
Wow.
Jeez.
Wow.
You know, I was wondering what the like line was going into it, and now going into this like
Oh,
podcast,
this podcast?
and now I realize the line is just cocaine. No, I'm just kidding.
That's what. Yeah. By the way, passes cocaine to Jeff. No, just kidding.
Yeah. Insert joke here.
You can see the line scrolling through the TJF of like where in the timeline that TV just took a huge dive into just shit town, where it's just become, it goes from like
I feel like that's like a 2002.
1 year you have Boy Meets World and Family Matters and Spring Rich and all this stuff, and then all of a sudden it's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, America's Funny Home,
That's
Funniest
definitely
Home
not.
Videos,
It's definitely not a
George
TGIF.
Lopez.
Oh,
Extreme Makeover. Oh man. Okay.
what would Ty Pennington do?
What were we talking about?
What happens in this first episode?
I'm gonna say, because what I think I know of the show, I'm gonna say the mom and dad meet in this one. I'm gonna
Oh, okay.
throw the softball out there right away.
I think you're fully wrong.
You think
That
they're
would be hilarious.
okay? So you're saying like this is a family unit.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's like a
This is a
modern,
Brady Bunch.
not modern,
Okay.
a 90s day Brady Bunch.
Okay.
I'm
I
gonna
hope
get,
they meet in an amusement park, because that's where I would.
I'm not trying to be
At a Six Flags?
confrontational,
Okay.
Jeff. I'm not trying to be confrontational, but I think you're very wrong. I don't think they're a mixed family. I think it's a full dad and a full mom they made their dad and mom kids all together.
Okay.
No one's been divorced or married.
Okay.
I just think for some reason they have a lot of kids.
Okay.
And the mom works out of the house, but she's not like, so I think this part is me thinking, I remember, I think she works out of the house and is a stylist. Like
Okay.
her like salon is like attached to the house.
Okay.
And then I think the big issue, or like the thing we have to get over in the first episode, then is the eldest boy because
Okay.
I think I literally don't have any. I think they have like 5 kids.
Okay.
I'm guessing. 3 boys, 2 girls.
Wow. Okay.
That's my guess. And the oldest boy comes home from school with like a letter / got called home because he got into a fight. And I think that's the thing. And then they do like, we're family kind of thing.
Like there's a life lesson every episode.
I mean,
And this
there's at
first
least
life lesson is-
one right now, and it's
Okay.
like that. And then the little ones are kind of like, well, Dave gets to fight. Why can't I like chew bubble gum? I don't know.
Which, yeah.
So that's what I think. That's
I
what
think you're wrong.
Do you think Jeff's right?
Yeah, I think he's closer.
Yes.
Maybe. I think
Yes.
Way to toe that line, Jimmy.
I want to
Okay.
say for the record that I'm new and I got my first point. Yes. No, we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
you
see.
get nothing.
We haven't watched
but
it
I
yet.
think there's not 5 kids. I think there's like I want to say there's like 1 boy, 2 girls. But then there's Cody. Do you guys remember Cody?
Nope.
I think he's like a cousin. I think he's like a cousin. I don't know any of the kids' names, but I remember Cody because he was funny as shit. He's just a comic relief, and he's really wild. But I think I do for some reason I would think that the dad is not related to like some of the kids.
The cousin?
I think he's. I think like the mom and the. Nah,
So do you
anyway.
think there's like stepkids and half siblings? Like, so they've come together and some of them are theirs?
That could be. Maybe they have one. Maybe they have like the boy is the youngest and it's theirs, but like the 2 daughters are older and from like the wife's first marriage.
And they help at the hairstylist place in
for
the basement
sure.
or in the living
Or
room,
wherever it is.
Wherever she cuts hair.
Yeah, wherever she wants to.
Do you guys think there's a main character in this? Like, is there going to be following like a in Boy Meets World? You've got the kid whose name I should know,
Corey.
and he's really like the main person you're following. Do you
Like
think
he's
you're
the
following?
boy that meets the world.
Yeah,
Right.
He's the boy.
That- okay, sure. But do you think there's like an equivalent? Is there a character that we're mostly following, or
No.
okay?
Yeah, I think it's just the family in general.
All right.
If you're right and there's like a kooky cousin, he would be my front runner of who we're focusing on.
Okay.
I want to tell you right now, I just read the description and I'm already wrong on everything I've said.
Oh,
It starts off with when 2 mismatched single parents fall in love.
amazing. Well,
Well,
I keep forgetting it's like a podcast. People are listening, so they couldn't see my arms
No,
being raised
no.
in victorious stance. So, if you're listening, yes, my arms are raised in a victorious stance. So,
well, you don't get a point yet. You only get a point after we watch it.
it's true.
Well, since I've already lost, why don't we just watch the first episode?
Yeah, let's dive in.
let's do it.
All right. Well, we'll see you then.
And we're back.
Yep.
Oh, is that the official
Yep.
catchphrase? Oh,
Good job, Jeff. Good job. We did it. Step by step. Episode 1.
All right.
And congratulations. You nailed it, Jeff.
I did it.
You did a really good job.
Partially.
I got all the occupations correct.
Yeah, you. I almost would thought you've seen this before because I mean, it was clear cut
Oh, for
construction.
sure.
Clear cut. I mean, studio mentioned right away at the beginning.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. 1 point.
So, I don't know. I thought it was close, but I said they'd meet that episode. Turns out they got married in Jamaica.
They had met
Yeah.
each other 3 months, or she started cutting his hair 3 months before
Yeah.
the episode.
I want to see that prequel episode when they go back towards the end of season 1
Called like One
and
Step
they
Back.
show. Yeah. Step backwards. We're stepping back.
Do we have a rundown of the first
Oh,
episode? Come on, Jimmy.
I spaced it.
It's terrible.
I was the professionalism, Jimmy.
It's got one job.
Josh was over here with notes upon notes and
Pages.
Wikipedia up and pages of information.
I mean, if I had Wikipedia, let's be honest, I'd be reading the description already.
Ready? You ready?
Yeah.
All of his predictions would be correct. Like,
We
whoa.
meet the Lamberts. Divorced contractor Frank and his 3 children, athletic JT, tomboy Alicia, aka Al, and
that.
carefree Brendan. and the Fosters.
Which one was Rat Boy?
Excuse
The
me?
oldest one,
Well, JT?
which I did
That
not
must be
get that he was an
JT.
athlete at all.
No, I did not catch
I didn't catch
did not
that.
catch
That might be, maybe that comes up later.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay, divorced beautician Carol and her children, who are arrogant Dana,
Yep.
glamour puss Karen, and brainy Mark. Did we even meet Mark?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Mike.
He was the one building a science project at the beginning.
His name's Mark.
Mike.
According to the internet, his name is Mark.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, the
are you
dad.
It was a joke
The
from
dad
the
called him Mike.
the dad kept calling him Mike. It
Oh,
was a joke from the episode.
I must not.
Our
have been
viewers obviously watch along, so that's why.
They know.
Yeah, they already finished the first step as well, waiting
So,
for us to come.
They're
back.
just as fresh as we are.
Yeah.
Waiting for me to finish reading. Okay, they're each living in their separate homes. Carol and Frank devise a plan to date and then get married so the kids won't find out about them getting married in Jamaica. They plan a barbecue at the Foster's home. Carol's sister Penny does not know about the plan and ends up blurting out that Frank and Carol are married. The Lamberts pack up everything and move into the Foster's home. The two families try their best to deal with the uncomfortable situation, but can't get along. The next day, Al tells her dad that her stomach hurts. Frank thinks she's trying to avoid school, but Carol believes her and takes her to the doctor. A good thing, as her appendix was about to burst. And that's the pilot.
You think they would have told her sister that, like, hey, we're gonna lie to 6 kids for like
Well, that's
a
what's
couple months
What's
at
funny
least.
about that rundown, yeah, is like all he did was he mentioned, or no, it was Al that was like, "Oh, my dad got this necklace in Jamaica," and she's like, "What?" And she put 2 and 2 together.
Right.
But
Because
you're right, you should have.
Frank said that he'd been going to her like beautician parlor place for 3 months. So Penny's been seeing him around, knows that something's going
yeah,
on.
and was like kind of hitting on him, so it was very uncomfortable when you're like, "All right,
Even still,
it's your brother-in-law."
I feel like he was moved in and she
I
was
feel like-
still hitting on him. Hey, Frank. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
I feel like that's the creepy thing that she does for the rest of the show.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that she bursts into the kitchen like Kramer and was like, "What up, Frank?" Like every time. I think that's her thing. That's her
Yeah.
shtick.
Yeah, she's the Kramer.
Yeah. Well, let's not downplay. Let's not.
yeah, I was
not-
like, I don't know if I'd put her on that level.
Let's not give her.
Aw,
Let's not give her
poor-
Kramer status.
Poor Peggy. Penny? What is it? Penny.
You want to give her Kramer status? You don't know her name.
Yeah,
I looked up Penny to see if she'd done anything else. She's been in a lot of soaps. That's her big
that
thing.
makes sense to me.
Hundreds of episodes of soaps.
Like commercials,
Living
No, I'm
that
just
soap life.
kidding.
Yeah, detergent.
Yeah, a lot of Dove commercials.
What's the one with the bear? These fuzzy.
Downy?
That's like toilet paper.
No, the
Charmin.
detergent.
Yeah, you think
the
it's
detergent
Charmin?
with the teddy bear, and he's all soft and.
I swear he's talking about paper towels
talking
or
about
toilet paper.
Charmin
Oh,
bears.
God damn it! Those are also bears. That's like that's like a family of actual animated bears.
Yeah.
This is like a teddy,
You're
like a
thinking
talking
of,
teddy
like,
bear.
The blue bottle. I can't think of the name, but yeah, it's. I know what you're talking about.
Isn't Downy the blue bottle?
It might be down.
Could be Downy.
I feel like we're getting off track.
We can't move on.
Was there
until
something else?
we need to know?
Other characters we had. So we had Frank. He's played by Patrick Duffy, and he was in Dallas. Was
That's
his big
Dallas.
show before this.
That's Dallas.
And that was a big show. I believe my father-in-law is a big fan of Dallas. Then Carol is played by, of course, Suzanne Summers from Three's Company. I feel like she was probably she must not be old enough, but I feel like she's like a Charlie's Angel or something. But that can't be.
No, you're thinking of Farrah Fawcett, I think.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Cameron Diaz and Lucy Liu. You're confused.
Let's see.
Yeah, we're
Drew
way
Barrymore
off.
as
Drew
well,
Barrymore.
right?
Oh man,
Oh, and the bad guy played by Sam Rockwell. Underrated film.
And the late great and the late great Bernie Mac.
Oh yeah, and the creepy the guy who went nuts after Back to the Future.
Bill Murray.
Was he in that?
Yeah, Bill Murray's like. I know that's not the creepy guy that loses his mind, but yeah, Bill Murray. I think is like Charlie's right-hand man.
So should we,
yes.
Should we
Yep.
keep talking about the Downy Bear or the Step by Step show now?
Yeah. Let's go back to Step
Let's
by
see.
Step.
Oh,
Then
okay.
you got the sisters, Dana and Karen Foster. They were not in anything after this that I could see.
The one of them looked familiar though. The not the
glamour puss?
Not the glamour puss.
Oh yeah, the other one does look.
The other one looks a
familiar.
lot really familiar to me. But I
I
tried.
think she just looks like
I,
someone.
I looked her up on IMDb and I was like, I didn't see anything.
I
that
think
she was
they
in.
both kind of look like people.
The only one I
Brandon-
really recognize is the kind of the nerd son, her son. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's like the son from Beethoven, right?
He's in both the Beethoven and Beethoven's
yeah,
second.
Beethoven's second.
Heck yeah.
So immediately I was like, I'm
That's
in on this
Chris Castile. Mike or Mark.
So,
Who is it?
it's not important.
one. Yeah,
Um,
just go on.
Then
Nerd.
Brendan, who's the young kid of Frank's. What was his deal?
He did, I don't think he had a deal. I think he was.
Yeah,
Oh
he-
no,
The
He's just a kid.
The kids that really weren't in a lot.
I feel like Al was dope
No.
as shit. Besides,
Oh yeah,
I mean,
think
Al was very
Al
cool.
clearly is the
She's the
favorite, I would assume.
Tommy. What is it called?
Tommy boy,
Yeah, Tommy Boy.
Tomboy.
Starring Chris
Black Sheep.
Farley.
Snuggle.
Living in a van.
If you're paying attention,
Snuggle.
it's a Snuggle brand. It was bothering me. Anyways, all right, now we can get past the bear.
Okay, so Brandon Call, who's JT.
Yes.
He was in 21 episodes of Baywatch. That's kind of his claim to fame outside of Step by Step.
As-
Wait, was he
as Pamela
Hasselhoff's
Anderson.
son?
Oh,
Maybe.
that sounds. Yep, I think he was. Yep. I'm gonna go with yep.
Interesting.
21
Okay.
eps.
All right.
I could see that. And then that Brendan kid, the youngest kid, Josh Byrne, he was in a lot of things like before this as a child in like several other sitcoms. So
Flubber.
Like before this show?
yeah, yeah,
He looks 5 or 6 in this show.
he's probably 10.
7.
A lot of Gerber
There's no
ads.
way he's 10. Yeah,
I
huge
will-
in the Gerber circuit.
He's one of
Al.
the, he's a legend in the Gerber circuit.
Yeah. People know his mug, okay?
He played like a small child in several. Okay, I
Like
want
Kid
to
Elite.
pull
But was
this
his
up.
But in like IMDb, is his role small child? Like
No,
that's like his
named
character.
kids. I'm not gonna look it up because I have here open Christine Lakin, aka Al,
Yeah.
and she's been in tons of stuff.
She doesn't look familiar to me at all.
Okay, so here's what I was. So when I was looking
Yeah.
up IMDb during the episode, yeah, she came up, and I was like, because she was in some like reality / I think kind of a scripted show with her and like the girl from Growing Pains, and then one of them from Full House.
Nice.
But what's funny is
DJ?
I saw like a commercial for that, and I was like, I could picture again, yeah, DJ from Full House, and then I forgot the one from Growing Pains, but I'm like, I have no clue who this third person is. And now watching Step by Step, I'm like, she might be my favorite. So
Yeah, she's
yeah,
great.
I'm gung ho on this
She's done a ton of video game voices,
one. Okay.
like Final Fantasy, Walking Dead.
Wait, she was in Final Fantasy?
She's a
Continue.
voice in
Yeah,
Lightning
go on.
Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13.
Ugh, terrible game. I haven't finished it.
World of
I gotta finish it
Warcraft,
first. I gotta finish
Rainbow
it.
Six Siege.
Yeah, you can't play a video game first and last. You just gotta.
I could in Final Fantasy because there's 13. There's 3 of them, so I could play the first
There
one
you
and the
go.
last one.
She was a voice in Star Wars, The Old Republic, Mass Effect, Andromeda.
So a lot of voice work is what you're saying.
Anyway, she's done a ton of voice work, but she's been in other stuff
So
too.
most importantly, do you guys think the other parents are dead or they all got divorced? Because I was getting a dead vibe.
Well,
yeah.
you said divorce for
I think for Carol.
Carol.
I feel like Frank's wife 1 is dead.
I'm gonna guess yes.
I got the vibe. Is that a
because
predict?
they had the classic. So when they opened up the show, it was the very classic single dad, like milk and cereal formed into a solid into a bowl. And,
They were pouring cement into their cereal.
and trash everywhere. Kind of the
Cereal
cliche
can't do
single
that.
dad. And part of me is like, I feel like that's more of a death. You know what I mean? Like it's more of a like he's given up type. Just
Sure.
Like the
I
kids
feel like
have
they
to
were
take
just doing
care
a
of.
single dad thing.
Very
like-
positive for giving up, though, I feel.
Yeah. Well, he just got married.
Oh, I forget. Yeah, the very first time we saw him, he's already
the first time he
married.
came in, he's already remarried
Yeah,
to a
he's-
person he knew for 36 hours.
He came in, very happy.
Yeah. He literally said, "I've had
that
dates
scene.
last longer than this." It's one, that's a long date, but two,
True.
And what a date! I'd like to see that episode.
yeah, the 48-hour date episode.
Dang. That's just like a trip. You're just on
Yeah,
a trip somewhere.
36-hour trip to Jamaica is not really like a great trip.
Well, I don't think they were.
Also true.
Jamaica,
Oh, they've been married for
they had
36
been married for
hours.
36.
Yeah.
Ah, gotcha. I need to pay attention.
Also, is that even be recognized within the United States at that point?
I mean, people get married in Jamaica all the time that live in the United States. I'm sure there's some sort of like.
There's some paperwork you gotta fill out when you get back.
I mean, when you got married,
Yeah.
you gotta like sign forms, right?
So many forms.
So
yeah, I mean that's an easy loophole that they could have
Yeah.
exploited coming back.
True.
Yeah.
If they wanted to get out.
the customs
Apparently they
form
didn't.
just said, "Are you married?" And they just said, "Yeah, we are," and that was
That was
illegal.
it. Customs
That's it.
like,
They put a stamp
all right,
on it.
yeah, that sounds great. I mean, it was the 90s. It makes sense to me.
Coming into the
Different time.
country, you weren't married, now you are.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, if a boat captain can get you married, I'm sure you get customs.
Yeah, maybe it was over international waters. So if
The
it's international,
Love Boat.
maybe it's
Is that on the
legal
list?
everywhere. All right.
You know who's in that show is LaForge. What's his name?
Jordy,
Yeah.
cool.
What the heck's his name?
That's a cool story.
Reading Rainbow. Key first and last Reading Rainbow. Like, what book do you think is going to be featured in
What
the
if, like,
last?
I mean, I want a first and last MythBusters one day, so I think we can.
Yeah.
I think Reading Rainbow would be hilarious. I think I've watched Reading Rainbow here and there. Wouldn't it be funny if you watched the first and last and it's literally the first and last chapter of a book and all of these seasons it was one book the whole time? You're like, man, I've watched this for 8 years.
I
How
actually
did
have a-
this
Why don't I just
get
read it
kids to
myself?
read?
I actually have an interesting question. We're got to get back to step by step here
Yes.
soon, but I got a question,
Yeah.
which I am really curious about. Is I was looking at a show today. I won't say what, but it was on for like 3 seasons, I think, or 2 seasons on
Okay.
TV. It stopped, and then it had season 3 and season 4 as comic books. How do we do that?
Oh my gosh. That's why I'm only a guest, so I don't have to deal with that.
So you just read.
As a listener, what would you think would be
How
appropriate?
many were there? Like several comics per season per se?
Yeah,
So you'd
like-
have to read the last comic of
But
the
here's
last
the thing:
season.
is though you're in your guys' description, it's first and last episodes.
Right.
Aren't comics an issue?
Solved.
True.
Back to step by step.
Back to step by step.
All right,
only
do you
TV.
guys have thoughts on where this is going?
Yeah, I got some predictions.
I have 3 predicts.
All right, let's hear them.
Number 1. Oh, come on, honey. Of course it is.
What?
Uh,
What?
Like, are we saying how many times he says that in the last episode?
no, he says it. That's like Frank's like
You
every
think that's
ti-
his catchphrase?
I think that's
It's his
like I think
catchphrase.
that's his catchphrase, and he says it
Ah.
at least one more time in the last episode.
All right.
I think that's a great prediction.
Everything's gonna be awful. Of course. Oh no, honey. Everything's gonna be great. Of course it is, or whatever
Yeah.
whatever I said. Oh come on, honey. Of course it is.
All right.
Like, everything's gonna work out. He says that. Hugs her.
No matter what the situation is.
He's gonna say those words.
Okay. All right.
Second prediction. Cancer.
Oh.
Someone has it.
In the family? Or are we just saying in 1997?
Family member.
Someone has it.
Someone on the TV that we're
Okay,
watching
okay, sounds
has
good.
cancer, either in the show or in real life at that moment.
Okay.
Oh God.
No, just the show. Someone has cancer. That's the big thing. So in the first episode, Al had an appendix. So they're back. They're bookmarking with a medical tragedy with the last episode with
Ooh.
cancer.
Oh my gosh.
You think this show has bookmarks? Okay.
Good shows got bookmarks. And my third, I didn't finish. I just wrote Al is. I wanted to come up with a cool one for Al because I really think she's going to be she's like the number 1 character in the show.
This is 7 seasons. Is that what I
Yep.
said?
It's a good point because I think Jimmy mentioned earlier do you think there's going to be someone focused on? They focused a lot on Al this episode.
I don't necessarily think anyone. Well, and
But it
just
was kind of more the
just
folks.
just to cheat a little bit, we can see the second episode's description for this show, and Al's date for the school dance is the infamous nerd Steve Urkel happens in the second episode of the
Yeah,
show.
which one again? The
Man.
fact that this show's in a multiverse, it was like
It's within Family Matters.
like
Yeah.
I'm now taken back with like the MCU. Be like they just copied step by step.
If
in their
At this
joint
point,
universe.
Family Matters is actually just like pulling
pulls them
all
all in.
other
If I
shows
didn't,
into it.
if we hadn't already watched Family Matters, I'd be like, Al's still dating Urkel,
Yeah.
which would be great.
Oh man,
Maybe I'll go with like here.
you guys
I
hated
go-
on that show
I got
so
one.
much
Al is dating somebody else from a different sitcom.
in the finale.
In the finale.
Kirk Cameron from
No, I
Growing
need to,
Pains.
I need
Growing
to, I
Pains.
need to leave it open.
You're just coming right back.
Right back
That's
to
my
Growing
third.
Pains.
That's my third. Al is
And so-
dating someone else.
Jeffy really wanted us to watch Growing
Yeah.
Pains tonight,
Just,
and
again,
we
I wanted the
we
funny
said, You're
cousin
not part
Leonardo
of this show.
DiCaprio. No, I think that's a good call.
We make the
with Al.
decisions here, Jeff.
Coming in, and I'm making all the rules, changing the game.
What are your predictions, Jeff?
Ooh.
All right, I have 4, and I think some are kind of
Coming in
like
hot.
what I call softballs. I feel like with
So you
this
mean you think
episode-
Grandma's dead?
yes, I think Grandma.
I
don't
knew
think
it.
Grandma dies in the last episode. Truthfully, I could almost see them. I feel like we could watch episode 2 and Grandma might not even be there, like one of those characters that
Okay.
was in the pilot. But yeah, I think the last episode Grandma's just not in the picture. I think that could be like a season 5 death, and that's when the lesson of the episode is just how to cope with death. I don't know, but Grandma's gone.
Bury the boy.
Mark her off.
right.
I think the last episode, we could hear one of the 3 kids from Frank call Carol mom for the first time.
Ooh.
I know it's 7 seasons, so the kids will be a little bit older, so they may have already done it, but I think the kids will be calling her mom.
Okay.
Because obviously with Al being like, you can make me feel better, but I'll never call you mom. Kind of the classic step.
I hope Al calls her bimbo
Oh,
in this last episode.
You're right. Yeah, I think that'd be great. And then I have 2, I think, for the last episode. I think it's going to end with, it could be one of the kids' marriages, and they have the wedding, like, in the backyard. Or 2,
Very Full House of them.
is that happening in Full House?
It happened in Fuller House for sure.
Oh wow. Oh yeah.
Okay, I don't know about that. Anyways,
Your wife doesn't make you watch Fuller House because
no, she thinks I watch
because
too much
I've
TV
seen
to
about a
begin
season
with.
of that.
So yeah, either a kid gets married and it's focused around that, or they have to move out of this house where they become one family, but one of them says, no, we're not doing it, and something happens and they change their own mind and they stay.
So they're like gonna move out,
gonna
and
move,
then it
and then
doesn't
they
happen.
decide
Got
not
it.
to.
For whatever reason.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of series ends with moving, like Friends. Like
Right.
they all leave the apartment.
Yeah.
I think this
Home
one
Improvement.
they lead up to
Frasier.
it, and I'm gonna be like, nah. Like the
All
kids are gonna be
right.
like, we became a family in this house.
No, we're
gonna
staying
stay." Yeah.
in suburban Chicago.
And it's probably going to be Al that makes a decision because
we-
she's the focal point of this show. We made that very clear. She dates Steve Urkel in the second episode.
so clearly she's on top.
She's
of
clearly
the world.
Yeah,
She's the
she
best.
sits in the front seat on the roller coaster during the thing, the intro.
Few shows have made me want to go into episode 2 as much as this one has.
Just like roller coasters and this podcast, the first and the last are always the best.
Yep.
One of my predictions that I'm adding right now off the cuff is that this is going to be Josh's new Frasier. That he's going to go back and start watching this show.
He does it every couple episodes. He thinks this is going to be my
New
new Frasier.
Frasier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say it every couple episodes, but I believe it this episode. I think you're going to watch some more step by step when I come back here next week. Like, Josh, what have you been up to?
I'll almost have for surely watched the second episode because I
So
got to
Wow.
see the
you're
Urkel.
gonna come back here and the blinds are still gonna be pulled. One light bulb works. He's in the same clothes he is.
I
Right
haven't
now.
been to work in a week.
He's just shivering and starving.
Just yeah,
Okay, I also said I think Jima's dead or gone.
yeah.
Probably dead. I think maybe we go to her grave at some point during this episode. Writing that down. Okay, and then I think so the only character that I really truly remembered from this show is Cody, who's like I'm pretty sure a cousin who lives in like an RV in the driveway. And
So somebody we didn't meet here.
someone we didn't meet in the pilot, I'm pretty sure he probably is in episode 2.
I do remember a person that lived in like a bus or an RV in there, but I
Pretty sure
thought,
his name's Cody.
I just assumed it was Rat
kind of want to
Boy,
look. I'm not gonna look though. Rat Boy. Oh, okay.
the older
JT.
brother. Yeah.
The athletic one.
So I think Cody.
the obviously
The
athletic
obviously
one.
athletic one.
I think Cody is driving. He's like in this episode. He's like leaving, but he's like taking the RV to like jet set to like California or somewhere,
You
take it across the
Jet
country.
set in an RV.
Yeah, I don't really know what that term means.
It's
Okay,
about flying in a plane.
Number 3, I think Frank and Carol have been split up.
Oh.
Like season 7, they have not been living in the same house.
Roseanne-esque.
Maybe Roseanne-esque.
Think Frank's dead?
Oh God, no!
Wait, and Carol's
Did
been
you
writing
listen
a
to that
book the whole
episode?
time?
Carol's been writing a book the whole
Don't spoil
time.
it for Jeff if he hasn't listened to that episode. Do you know about Roseanne?
Yeah.
Okay,
Who doesn't?
but I think they come back together in this. I knew that. Okay, anyway,
I mean,
I think
didn't know.
they're coming back together in this episode,
Ooh, a reconciliation.
and maybe they go to
Man,
Jamaica.
if this is season 7 and they split in season 6, it's a lofty time to be away when it's a show about them together.
I think they split like at the beginning of season 7,
Oh, okay.
and then they're back together, and then they like go to Jamaica to like
Ooh.
renew their vows. or
There's
something.
the bookmark.
That's
Why
my
were you
bookend.
talking to me
Or
about a
bookend.
bookend, and you were like, "Oh, you think there's gonna be a bookend?
Bookmarks.
That's a huge bookend."
I wrote that
Bookends.
prediction after you said that.
Oh, after I said can't.
I was like, oh, I know what's gonna happen.
I say cancer. Jimmy says Jamaica.
I also
fine,
think
my bookend is they make a Fruit Loops joke again. Boom.
cement Fruit Loops.
Yeah.
He picked up a bowl of cereal that, like, by the spoon in it that had sat in the dishes. Okay. I also think there's gonna be like this episode in loving memory of someone.
Is that like 20 or 25 predictions? You almost done yet?
I was wondering.
We gotta watch the
how
last
many-
episode.
I was like, I feel bad if I.
I don't know how many that
shorted
was.
Everyone with 4.
I
wrote.
did,
Jimmy's got
12.
12.
I did 3.
I wrote
And I started with 2.5 when I
My
was
fifth
talking about him.
prediction is that Jimmy has another 5 more predictions to go through.
I wrote 4, and then I wrote down the Jamaica one, which is the 5th technically, and then I think I said another one, but I didn't write it down. I've already forgotten what it was. So let's just move on.
All right. Well, I guess it's time.
Listeners will tell us.
It's time to see if Urkel's in the last episode.
Yeah.
Hope so.
Man. Yeah. No. How? No
Could
one predict
only
that.
hope.
Because it's not. It's no.
I mean, clearly
Urkel was
like,
over by then, right?
By 97? Is it?
Well,
Maybe.
doesn't Urkel become like Urkel and like
He becomes
Stefan? Oh, because it's Steven Urkel.
Stefan Urkel or something.
Yeah. Urkel.
But that was already discussed. All right, we will see
Yes.
you at the end of Step by Step when I have won all the points. And we're back.
And we are back after the series finale. Do you have a script?
I was kind of working on it, but I don't currently. But I can get to it.
Listen.
But while I do that,
Cody.
why don't we talk about how Cody doesn't exist?
Fucking Cody. So I looked it up. I forgot that they switched to CBS. We talked about that right at the beginning. The whole last season's on a different. And at that same time, that last season, so we talked about family matters because Urkel is in that second episode. So CBS picked up this Step by Step and Family Matters for their last seasons.
So CBS is a show killer.
So ABC had dropped them both.
Oh yeah.
So they picked them up to get that money for that year.
No, I'm thinking of the show killer. So this did not seem like a series finale.
No.
Like I think, listening to some of your past ones, like especially like we look at, like you guys talk about Frasier a lot.
Yeah.
That was like a final like a lot of loose ends tied.
That's true.
This one was clearly we're probably going to get canceled. We're a sitcom. There's not a lot of things to tie up here. And so it seemed like just another episode.
Yeah.
But my guess is, so they had one prediction that was not made was that Frank and Carol were going to have a child.
Yeah.
And they definitely do.
Yep. Lily.
Yep. So Lily has like 7 half
I even said that at the beginning of the show before the first episode that they were going to have their own kids, and I forgot.
Nah, I don't think you said that. But rewind the tape.
Damn it.
But yeah, so this Lily character who actually had a very funny moment at the beginning where she was just in the background.
Yeah.
and had this like evil look. It was actually kind of terrifying.
It was really good.
But
She wandered away from the table what they were talking about, and then they like cut to a different shot of them talking, and then just in the background,
Just
a little
walking
kid
by.
just wandered into the background and just stared
She just
into
wanders
the camera.
into the shot out of focus.
But she seemed like one that probably was
on
introduced
purpose.
in season 6 when it was on ABC as like try to save and get ratings up, and just ruined everything
Yeah.
else. And they couldn't like obviously write her off
All right, are we
Could
ready?
be.
Are we ready for this?
because they wrote off.
What are we doing?
one.
Oh, description. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, here we go.
Episode 160, moving on up. This is the series finale.
Moving on up.
When a yuppie couple, the Adlers, tour the house, they make an offer that Frank and Carol can't pass up. Everyone is excited, particularly since they'll finally be able to move from their undersized home. But Lily likes her house and makes it clear to her folks that she will not move, and their attempts to reason with her fail. When the yuppies return, they show their true colors, disgusting the Lamberts so much they cancel the sale. Which is not really what happened.
I mean, it's not a great. I mean,
Yeah.
it
Lily
is what
did.
happened,
Lily
but-
did not make herself very clear that she didn't want to move.
No, in
She was just like being a bad kid.
yeah.
We knew, the viewers know that she didn't want
Yeah.
to move.
And then when the yuppies returned, they didn't show their true colors. And disgusted the Lamberts so much.
Yeah,
The Lamberts made the house look so crappy that the yuppies
and it
didn't
really
want
was
it.
just a collapsing table and a hole in the wall, all in the kitchen.
They just
Feel
yeah,
like they
made
could
it
have walked around
sound
the
like
rest of the house. and
What
been
about the
fine.
Boluvian worm-eating wood stalkers?
Yeah, but that was in the
what,
kitchen.
wood eating worms. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they turned it. Maybe just because they're yuppies and didn't know what they're doing. But the Lamberts didn't want to give them their house because they were like walking around the whole house talking about how they're gonna change absolutely everything and get rid of everything and paint everything.
Get rid of the built-ins. Like who does
Get
that?
rid of the come on
Yeah.
built-ins.
Who gets rid of built-ins?
I kind of get annoyed with the like TV show trope, because I think it is kind of a trope of like, we're gonna move out of our home.
Mhm.
Obviously, we've been in here for seasons and seasons. We've got all this memory, and then they see the people that are moving in, and they're gonna change it, and then they get all like emotional about it,
Mhm.
and it's like,
You would never see that.
A, you'd never see that, and B, it's like, of course they're gonna move in and change things because it's not your house anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
we kind of said that during the episode of like who, while you're like in the middle of selling your house, who allows the buyers to come in and
While
walk
you're living
around
there.
while you're still like packing, like not even
Oh,
halfway
they
packed.
had
No.
like nothing was really.
There was
even
like
packed.
7 books in a box, and they're like, "Let's take this out." And oh,
They were putting
Post-it
yeah,
notes.
they were putting-
banister gone. Just like- but
Oh,
yeah.
we don't cook. We do takeout. Jesus.
But I will say, because of that trope, I got a point because that's what I predicted that they were gonna sell that house.
That's fair. I just always think it's really funny when they do stuff
We're
like
not
that, and they're like,
at predictions yet, Jeff.
Sorry, my bad.
"Have you ever listened to
It's
First and
just-
Last before?"
It's a
But yeah, you
prequel
did
leading
get that
to-
point.
But you're right. I feel like a lot of these sitcoms, especially like, studio audience, all those, I think that's a very cliche series finale type thing is, you don't realize it, but the house is its own character in itself, and we
Right.
can't
For
get rid
sure.
of this house.
I'm sure there's like a Full House thing.
But again, what I think was
The
funny
same
was
thing.
like with even like this episode description of, and Lily makes it very clear she doesn't want to move. One, it wasn't clear, like they mistaken, like I think it was like a picture of a duck of her crying.
There's a picture on a duck
But-
on a microwave.
But it was kind of funny, like when we were watching and being like, when do you think parents have ever listened to their like 5-year-old kid and be like, "Oh, you don't want to move? All right, we're not moving then."
You-
And we're like, you probably
valid
won't. When you
point,
grow up, you
Lily.
won't remember this house.
Because that's 100%. That's 100% why they didn't move, right?
Yeah,
It's
it's
like Lily didn't want to move.
She was the only one out of this family of 7 or 8 or whatever, and she has full control because she threw a ball on top of the roof at recess.
And then, so speaking of family of 7 or 8, where was the youngest boy? Not
Yeah.
in this episode at all.
He died with the grandma, clearly.
So,
I'm
so my
trying to
cancer
remember.
predict was
Yeah,
correct.
the
I'm
cancer
trying to
prediction.
remember. I feel
It
like
got really dark in season 4
when I
with
looked it
child
up-
cancer.
when I looked it up, the IMDb is weird because it said it didn't have all the right people in it because it also listed Rich. Was that his name?
Yeah.
Dana's boyfriend.
Well, he was at like the first scene.
It listed him in the IMDb. It
Oh yeah, he
said
was just sitting at the table, didn't say
in
a thing.
credits only, which would be like he's not in the episode, but he's credited because that happens sometimes. If there's part of the series, but he was definitely in the episode.
He was sitting at the table at the very
And then
beginning.
it listed that youngest kid as well. I'm pretty sure for this last episode, and he was nowhere.
He must have been in deep
Brendan.
contract.
Mike was there. He was in a scene. I don't think he had a single line.
No, he came down and said the toilets were clogged with the whole rigmarole of saying that the house was garbage.
Oh, okay.
Showing
I missed
their
that
true
line.
colors.
He had a line.
So it was
Good for him.
So it was the
Yeah.
middle boy then that we were missing.
Yeah.
'Cause Mark was the youngest,
The blonde.
and then JT, the obvious jock
Yeah.
in the
The
family.
worst actor I've
Yeah.
ever seen in my entire
Who-
life. He's so
His
bad.
athleticism has led to him living in the old hairdressing studio, which I guess turned into
they
an
turned
apartment.
to
So
apartment.
he didn't live in an RV, but he lived in the studio.
Okay, because going back to Cody, I never finished Cody. So Cody apparently started in episode 4 of season 1.
Is his name Cody?
His name is Cody. Sasha Mitchell? I'm not going to look at it at my phone anymore because it's going to die. But, and then when they moved to CBS, he didn't move with them, but he was in one episode, and it was the second to last episode of and that was all he was in the last season, I
I think
think.
Cody was like a fan favorite, so ABC's like, no, he's property of ABC.
Yeah,
Like,
for
when
sure.
They sold the rights to CBS.
I also looked while I was looking him up. And he plays, so he's Patrick Duffy's nephew in this. He's also Patrick Duffy's nephew in the show Dallas.
Whoa.
Also, speaking of Dallas, have you guys seen that Family Guy
What a
episode?
small world, Dallas.
You guys big Family Guy
That's Dallas.
watchers? There's the one where the like world ends. There's like Armageddon, and they go to the Twinkie factory, and at the end, it's like Patrick Duffy wakes up, and it's like this was all just a dream that he had. That's him and his wife from Dallas. It's as if like the episode was a dream within the show Dallas. Like, and it's all like,
I'll be honest, I did see that episode of
it's a
Family
live
Guy,
action suddenly.
and I didn't get it till you just explained it to me now.
Oh, you're welcome.
So I'll tell myself 8 years ago what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah, dial it back. But
You'll
all
probably
right.
you'll see that episode again.
The more
someday.
you know.
Yeah.
That's great. Anyways,
Back to Reading Rainbow. Thanks, Rix, for bringing it back.
It's the more you know commercial. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it wasn't.
Oh
really
yeah, it
good.
was in the end of like
Anyway.
it was. Okay.
Awkward.
What else we got here?
Yikes.
Yeah. So I feel like like all the characters essentially stayed pretty the same. Like Al was still bitchin' and awesome, the best one.
Yeah, she definitely should get her own spin-off for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could be coming out on Netflix.
Dana was still like the, I don't know, sassy one, I guess.
She became a hippie. I think that was new to me when she was talking about their new house, about how it had like it was gonna save the earth because it had all the green stuff,
trash
that solar
compactor
panels and
yeah.
Maybe
recycling.
her agenda changed, but I don't think her her like attitude
No.
Sure.
changed much. And then obviously the other one, Barbie. What was her name?
Karen.
Karen.
She's such a Karen.
She was
Everybody
she was looking
has
at
a
herself
Karen.
in a mirror in the first one, talking about a pimple, and in this one, the only thing she talked about was a 3-way lighted mirror.
Is it sad that watching the first episode, now watching this one, and again seeing the no change in character, like especially Karen, that I don't know
Zero.
if I could watch seasons 1 through 7
Of
if
Karen.
Karen played that. I'd be like, oh man, Karen.
No depth at all.
Yeah,
I
get
bet
outta-
she
give
goes
me
through some stuff.
More Al. More Al.
More
All
Al
the
for
Al.
sure.
All the Al.
But
I bet Karen has some drama. I bet she like has like a pregnancy scare or something in like season 4,
nah, it sounds like a Donna thing.
like that 70s show.
Is that not a character?
Dana.
Dana.
I just did classic Frank.
You did what Frank did.
Classic Frank. Oh, I love this show. No,
It's Carol, right?
I think he did call her Donna in the first episode.
no, he did.
He did. Ah.
here we go.
All right.
Comedy comes so naturally to Jeff. He doesn't even have to plan it out.
Yeah, it just rolls right off the tongue. Catchphrase.
Oh God.
I'm curious when Lily came into the show because I think she's probably pretty funny. When she walked in with that rat on her shoulder, it was pretty funny.
That's good. The rats are back.
I'm getting a Jeff is not a fan of Lily.
No, it was one of those where it seemed to me like they were hoping for an Olsen twin.
I was just about to say, I'm surprised we didn't hear her say, "You got it, dude."
Yeah. I mean, no offense to this actress that plays her, because one, she's probably like 6, but Lily terrified me the whole time. Like, she looked like you take the show makeup off, and it turns out she's like 45 and has smoked for 30 years. It's just
I think she's in the movie Poltergeist, isn't she?
Yeah,
she's the ghost.
This is her final
She's
role.
the Geist.
Yeah, to me, I don't know. I have very mixed feelings with Lily because she definitely seems like someone that, again, came in probably season 6 when they were ending it with ABC to try to like revamp or revitalize. Like,
Do you think they had Lily to save the marriage from their impending divorce that Jimmy had planned?
oh man,
She is in season 6.
go back to
I'm gonna
5.
back it up.
Take it a step back.
Little Sister Don'tcha is the episode 1 of season 5.
So you think? So is that the one where you think they give birth at the beginning of season 5, or they find out that they're pregnant? Because she seems pretty old in this like series finale. Like, she should be around.
I mean,
for a
she's
while.
going to school,
Yeah.
so
Well, she's walking and talking as well. So,
We got her.
Right, well,
What's
I
her
mean-
name?
I mean,
normally you do that before you go to school.
it's
So-
true, Lily. But I mean, like, looking at the age,
She's in season 5.
yeah, just one of those
I
where
bet she
if,
was-
if every season was a quote unquote year, like a year of their life, she should have been in like season 2.
Yeah.
But there must have been a large gap between season 5 and 6.
Like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
They're like, you know what? Let's just take a little bit of time. Let's just accelerate.
Like, the beginning of season 5 says 10 years later. Just like, what the hell did I miss at the end of season 4?
Al's doing lines of coke
Yeah,
off the
just-
kitchen table.
Oh my gosh.
I wish more sitcoms would take more leaps like that. Take more risks.
Like going ahead 10 years?
Just getting
Or
weird.
just throwing it,
Or the coke
or
line.
throwing in, yeah, just doing coke. Yeah, I wish more family sitcoms. I just love how they fully gave us an extra kid and then took away a kid.
Yeah.
They're like,
we just
you know
where's
what?
that other kid?
Yeah, let's just
Hey,
flip flop.
let's roll through predictions,
Yeah,
and
yep.
if Jimmy, you find out what happened to that other kid while we do this,
Yeah.
let us know.
All right.
Thanks, Google.
Mine are gonna be pretty fast, so I'll just do mine really quick. Oh, come on, honey! Of course it is. He didn't say that.
didn't hear
he
that.
didn't have a catchphrase.
Yeah, I thought for sure that was a home run.
Yeah.
I thought, yeah, especially just oh honey for sure.
Yeah.
But, yep.
Cancer, that didn't work out for me. Doesn't
Ooh,
usually work
no
out for anybody, if
cancer.
you know what I mean. But
Jeez.
what?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
there you go.
Hey, tell it like it is. And Al is not dating anyone on any other sitcom, but she should be.
Yeah, she definitely should be. Other sitcoms want to be.
I feel
dating
like
her.
Al should be dating like JTT from
Oh,
Home
for
Improvement.
sure. Oh my gosh,
Power
this multiverse
couple.
is just expanding.
Power couple. Well, that's what I had.
Yeah. So I had one of the
zero.
kids gets married. That definitely did not happen, unless Brandon. Maybe he got married and moved off in season 3. Who knows?
I think he got
married.
I think he got my I think he caught a case of my prediction too.
Yeah, maybe he got the. Grandma's no longer there. That was a home run, but I didn't expect her sister to not be in the episode either. So
Yeah, that's
At
true.
some point,
Penny.
Carol excommunicates the whole family. Probably closes down
I bet
her
when
shop
they
and
went to
puts her
CBS,
sister.
I bet lots
Frank's
of
her whole life now.
Yeah, I bet when she closed down her beauty shop.
Oh
And
yeah,
her sister's like, "That's my only job." And she's like, "I don't care. Frank supports me." Just probably
she's just on
probably a
the
lot of bad
streets now.
family. Yeah.
She's homeless.
No one called her mom, but I don't know if anyone called anyone.
I don't
mom
even
or
think
dad.
Lily called her mom.
Yeah. Yeah. The actual. Yeah. I did have. They wanted to move house, and someone denied or didn't want to move. I again thought that would be Al because I didn't know this creepy Lily existed. But it was like the third. It was like the third sentence of the episode of like, guess what? I could get this new house for.
It was the
cheap.
entire premise of the show.
Yeah. So,
Lily the Geist.
Yeah. So I got about. I think I got 2 because all I said was Grandma's no longer.
Yep,
I
that
could have been
counts.
more clear saying she died, but I just said Grandma wouldn't be there.
Being clear doesn't get you points here.
God.
Josh, did you get 0?
Yeah.
All right. I also said G-Ma's dead. I said stuff about Cody that I'm not even going to bother talking about.
Man, he loves like this Cody. I don't know
It
where
can't
this
get enough of Cody.
So
Man, he-
good. Let me just tell you a little quick story about Cody.
Yeah, please.
The only thing I remember,
please,
the only scene I
edge of
remember
my
is
seat.
like one of the kids, probably JT, comes home. Maybe it's one of the girls, comes home and has a hickey, and they like go and like Cody's there. Is like, what am I gonna do about this hickey? Like I can't just walk around with this hickey. And he's like in this thing where he's solving problems by just like word association.
Wait, so
And he's
Cody's
like-
a sleuth that lives in an RV.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's kind of a wild. He's kind of a.
He's a regular. He's a regular Dick
Californian-
Tracy.
He's got like a surfer. Like he's like dumb, but like the kids look up to him because he's like an older, cool dude.
Yeah, you're really selling us on Cody. Keep
Yeah,
going.
I love
But
this Cody
so
guy.
he's like going through. I don't even remember what he all says, but he's doing this throughout the episode. But to fix the hickey thing, he's like he like sees something, and then he just says the word, and then he's like saying things that associate with that word, and then he somehow gets to like a animal and gets to like turtle, and then goes turtleneck. Wear a turtleneck until your hickey's gone, and it's like, oh my god! It's like the way they did it was great. That's all I remember of Cody, but I think he's awesome.
0 points. Keep
0
going.
points. Prediction 3: Frank and Carol have been split up, but now they're together. Doesn't seem like that ever
Definitely did not
happened.
seem like that
They
happened.
did not go to Jamaica,
They almost
and
were
this
more in
episode
love.
was not in loving memory of anyone. And you're right, Jeff. I don't think this was really like a finale because there were no clips at all. And if this is a sitcom finale, it's got to be a clip. Come on.
No.
I think they did a classic thing. They did a classic thing that a lot of finales do, though. They like threaten change, you know.
Yep.
And but instead of like kind of doing it and moving on, they just said, "Oh wait, no, we're good here." But they like went far enough into the change like threat
Yeah.
that you're like, "Oh," and they're like, "No, we're good. We're just gonna keep being a family." And it's like, "Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Bye, Lamberts." And
Yeah.
then that was the end.
No, I agree. Yeah, I think I mentioned that. Yeah, where a lot of series end with, like you said, like especially like I feel like these '90s sitcoms. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Again, since it's a set, the house very much becomes, I think, a character in itself. Because I'm sure there was like wacky shenanigans. Like, oh, that's where they fell down the stairs at one time. But like looking at this, kind of the same
That's
thing.
where
but,
Brendan broke his head open and died.
yeah. That's why they didn't want the new people to change the house. But
I did find out what happened.
My kid's blood's under that tile.
But it's one of those where I think a lot of other series almost have more drama to it, even though it's a comedy and it's laugh track and all this. I feel like a lot of series almost have more dramatic moments too, like actually like, hey, this is sad that we're actually ending. This one had none of that. It was still kind of the slapstick humor. I think the only dramatic part was when the little girl came down and it clicked, like she didn't want to move.
Yeah.
Or when she was talking to her bunny. But again, that's kind of the
Stuffed
daily
bunny.
lesson instead of like a whole series
Right.
thing.
Not a series wrap up. So Brendan, someone in like an online like chat at some point disclosed that Brendan like got wrote out of the show for that last season because like Emily was getting more and more showtime. So, Emily is
Who's Emily?
is Lily.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
She says Emily in the thing, so I had to look up who that was. That's Lily.
Could have been Cody. I don't know.
Who's
So
to say?
Lily. So the little kid was mad that this other little kid got more screen time?
I don't know if I'm sure there was anger behind it, but they just let him go because there's too many fucking kids.
Yeah.
They didn't need another kid, so they just
So
wrote
do
him out.
Go live with grandma in the
Yeah.
And the aunt.
big hotel in the sky.
And I guess they don't talk about where he went in the show at all. He's just gone. and then but like apparently throughout the show they still say like 7 beautiful kids, but that kid's just gone.
So he's just like never around, but they like actively say like he's our kid.
He's like the teenage
got
angst.
these
He
kids.
has not come out of his room.
Brandon.
Yeah, he's listening to like the
It's
Smashing
a rough
Pumpkins.
phase.
Yeah.
He's actually the one. He
pumpkins.
was actually the one in this
We
episode
could
going,
talk about the pumpkins.
"Woo!"
Yeah, he was
He was the one making the
he was
noises.
the one.
Jeff, this is the time of the show where we kind of say, Jeff, would you continue to watch this show? What do you?
I feel like I would like to start the show, but I have a feeling personally I'd get to season 4 and be like, that's kind of it for me. Again, I think looking specifically maybe at the Karen character, where I'm just like, there's nothing here. And again, there's other. I think this is one of those middle tier 90s sitcom families that if I had to start this one, I'd have to start, like I said, like Growing Pains. I'd have to watch that one through.
Yeah,
Again, just give me some Leonardo DiCaprio.
there are better shows.
But yeah, I think I would try, but again, I'd get to season 4 or so and be like, I can't.
Well, if you watch through season 4 and you haven't seen this joke about the turtleneck,
Or
watch
this
one more season.
or this
or Lily.
or this Phantom Cody character.
Yeah,
that Jamie's
yeah.
no,
talking
Lily
about.
Lily comes about at the end of season 4. I looked it up.
Okay,
It's like
see?
the end. It's like the last episode of season 4. Is they
See, I didn't even know, and like my body's just telling me once this creepy child gets in, that's when
You're
I get out. Just like
I feel like I want to start at Creepy Lily. 'cause
I will pass the baton.
Yeah.
Be like, Josh, here's the lineup of season 4. Go.
I'm in. Let's do this. Because by the way, our new guests can't re-guest until they've watched all of the show that they were on.
Okay, it'll be done tomorrow. Just like,
holy balls.
just be like one of those like, yeah, it works very slow right now.
Well, if you watch
I know
it
that
in
game.
2.5 speed.
I gotta work tomorrow.
Just I have 3 screens. I can watch 3 eps at a time. But okay.
I'm into it. I think it's
All
good. I don't think by any means will it be my new Frasier.
Yeah.
But I think some of the kids are fun. Obviously, Al's dope as hell.
Yep.
I feel like the person I would like the second most is Dana. I think she's going to be a good character. And then I don't know, I think Frank's just a goofball, so I like him. So like I'm pretty interested in about half these characters. And then Lily, sorry Jeff, but Lily was so creepy in the first 10 seconds of this like episode.
Yeah.
I'm like into it. He's so creepy.
Yeah.
I think
Yes, I
she's-
had high hopes in those first, like, just seeing her in the background. Yes,
That-
I definitely laughed.
What did she call?
and then she
called
was in the-
Karen something. Or no, she called Dana
A ghoul. No, I don't know.
Boots. Something
Boots.
Yeah.
She-
She said, bite me, Boots.
Bite me,
Yeah.
Boots. And Al like went nuts over that
I
line.
think
Well, yeah, just
Because
having
she's just the new Al.
just having
she's
having
the
Al
younger
around.
Al.
Just having Al around while Lily does creepy things, and Al just going, "I love this kid." I'm like,
Yeah.
but I love you, Al.
But
You're
I
so
think
great."
the one that had little presence that probably I could get into is it Mark? Right?
Yeah.
Mark?
Oh, the
nerdy
this
one.
nerd,
I
yeah.
feel like he could have
Yeah.
a lot of good lines. I mean, I think it's the
Yep.
exact same character in Beethoven, and I could get behind that.
Do you think they have any? You think Mark and Urkel in episode 2 have any back and forth?
That's probably how they got
any
the
nerdy
prom
back
date.
and forth? Because he's Mark's friend.
Got it.
Do you think Mark has a Family Matters crossover?
No.
No.
Nope.
He answered your own question. It's like, do you think this? Because I don't.
But wouldn't that be great?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would watch also some of this show. The last one did not sell me. This last episode.
I'm mega interested in season 1, episode 2,
Yeah.
and then we
Yeah.
just have to go from there.
See, season 1, if you asked after season 1, I'd be like, yeah, I could definitely see myself watching all this through. And again, I don't know if it's just because I like the clean series break. You know, I like when it ties up stuff and all that. But so maybe that's what's kind of throwing me off with this season finale or series finale. But yeah, I think if you asked me after episode 1, I'd be like, yeah, I'm all in. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And then after this one, I'm like, it seems like a lot.
CBS
the same
ruined
for
this.
7. Yes, I blame CBS.
Terrible network.
If CBS is listening, I don't. I watch Big Brother, so let's get it.
All right.
Side nudging Josh. Can't wait for the next episode where he watches a reality show of First and Last.
I am Big Brother.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, yeah.
Hey, Jimmy, where can people find us and talk to us?
You can tweet at us at the FNL podcast and at and email us at fndlpodcast@gmail. Find us on the Facebooks, find us on the Stitcher and the iTunes and the YouTubes.
Rate us 10 stars.
Give us all of your stars and your likes and your subscribes.
Whatever stars you have to give.
Give us the reviews. Tell us what shows you'd like us to do. And we will give you big old smooshes.
I'd say most importantly, tell us whether or not you thought Jeff was cool or totally dumb.
Yeah. Please use
Loser.
that ranking. Cool or totally dumb. Nowhere in between. It's one of those two options. Thanks for having me. If the challenge is to watch this whole series to come back, yeah, I'll watch the whole series because, yeah, it was fun.
Totally a challenge now.
Nice.
All right.
Oh boy.
Cool. Well, with that, thank you for watching, listening. Jeff, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
And we will see you all, listeners, next week on another episode of First and Last.
Next Wednesday at 1.
11.
Whatever it is.
There's
You don't
two
even know.
ones.
Bye.
Yeah, 2 ones. 11. Bye.
Yeah.